Hi and welcome back to another holistic 3D tutorial on Unity. Now in the previous video we created a cube that you could actually move around with the arrow keys, but it's a bit hard to see where it's actually going when the camera can't follow it. So what we're going to do in this video is to attach the camera to the cube. Now first of all, what I'm going to do is in the hierarchy I'm going to right click and I'm going to 3D object, and we're going to add a plane, which will be our ground plane. And let's just move that down so the cube's kind of sitting, neatly on top of it. Now, at this point, we can hit the R key, which will allow us to rescale it from the middle. So we're kind of making like a large plane that we can essentially drive our cube around on. Now, how do we get the camera to follow the cube? Well, it's actually quite easy. What we're going to do is to select the cube. Now, when the cube moves forward and backwards, it moves along its Z axis, which is this one here, okay? So we're going to select the cube. We're going to hit the F key to center it, and then we're going to use the Option or the Alt and the left mouse button to rotate around the cube so that we're behind it, remembering that this blue axis here is the forward direction. Now let's zoom out a little bit, and we probably want to be, kind of about there. This is the camera following the cube. With the main camera, you're going to grab the main camera from your hierarchy and drag and drop it onto the cube, so it's now attached to the cube, but you want the main camera to have the same view that's going on in here. So select the main camera, and we're going to go over to Game Object and Align with View. And now you can see in your game window that you're seeing through your main camera in the same way as if it was attached to this cube, which I guess it is attached to that cube. Okay, so let's press play now and have a look at how this goes. So when we move forward, the cube's moving forward. Now, because of that plane, without anything interesting going on that plane, we can't see that we're actually moving, even though we are. So there's no sort of reference point. So let's just press stop for a moment. Okay, let's just zoom out of here. And what I'm going to do is, now you could put a texture on here, or you could just add a whole bunch of other objects so that you've got some kind of reference point. So let's add in a cylinder, and then I'm just going to move that around here, and then Control D and add some more cylinders. Just so we've got a reference point. Okay, now let's press play again, and when we move with the arrow up, you'll see it moving forward, and the arrow back, you're moving backwards, and we're moving left and right when we use the side arrow key. So now we have a very basic driving facility attached to our particular cube. So you can imagine it was like a racing car or something, Game Object. You can now actually move it around. Obviously, when you're in a 3D environment and you hit the side arrow keys, you want the cube to actually rotate and turn from left to right rather than going left and right. So let's do that now. Okay, so back into our code, what we're going to do is, before we actually change the position, is we're going to rotate it. So above the positioning, we'll add this line of code here. So it's transform.rotate, and we're going to rotate 0 around its X, 0 around its Z, but we want to rotate it by a certain amount around its up axis. So you think about yourself, if you were to rotate around your up axis, you stick a hand up in the air, point it at the sky, and then if you turn from side to side, your hand that's pointing at the sky still stays pointing at the sky. So that's your y-axis, which is not actually rotating at all. You're just rotating around it, which is what we want for our cube. Now, when this rotates around its up axis, we don't want it to also move in the horizontal input direction. So in the next line down, where we're using this horizontal direction to actually move in the X, we want to put 0 in there as well, so that we're only moving forward and backwards along the Z axis, like that. Okay, so let's save this and we'll go back into Unity and let's see how we go with that. So we'll press play, and what I want you to do is actually take notice of what's going on in this particular scene window as well as over here. So if I use the up and down arrow keys at this point, I'm moving forward and back, which is pretty cool, right? Now if we use the side arrow keys, look, I'm rotating, albeit quite slowly, but we can update that value too. And if I go back in the other direction with the other arrow key, I'm rotating as well. Now let's just turn all this way around in this particular direction here. And you can see that we're now sort of facing over there, so that when we hit the up arrow key, you would expect that our cube's going to go in this direction. Let's have a look what happens. It doesn't. But if you have a look in the scene at the actual grid, can you see what that cube is moving along? It's moving along the Z axis in the scene. It's not using the object's Z axis, because now that you've rotated this cube, the Z axis for the cube is this direction. It's not that direction there. So we need to actually be pushing the cube according to its Z axis, not the world's. So this means that you need to take your position and update it, not by just X and Z values, but you need to also rotate this vector here by the direction of the actual object itself. So what we do in here is we go transform plus position, and then we need to multiply this value here by the forward vector. So it will be transform dot forward. Transform dot forward is a vector value. Now you can't multiply a vector value, like a vector 3 value, by another vector 3 value. The forward is the actual vector that you want to move along, and it's this value here is the amount that you want to move along it. So we actually have to get rid of this whole new vector creation value, so that we're taking the transform.forward vector and making it this long based on our input, and then adding that to the position. Now it's okay if you don't quite grasp all of this at this point, because vector maths, while very, very powerful and useful in game development, if you're just starting out, can be a little bit mind-blowing. But we're just going to start getting something to work first before we look at it any closer. So just save that and let's go back into Unity. Now once that finishes compiling and I don't have any errors, let's just press play. Okay, so now my up and down arrow keys are moving my cube. I'm going to rotate over in this direction, and now when I go forward, I'm actually going forward along the vector that my cube is facing. Now it's very slow at this point, so let's just jump back into this drive script. You'll see that there's this movement speed value that you can set up the top here, which is 5, which is how fast you're actually moving. In the rotate, we're probably wanting to rotate twice as fast as that, so I'm just going to multiply that by 2, and then we'll just come back quickly, press play, and let's see how we go. Okay, so rotating, still a little bit slow, but you know how to now update that if you need to. So I can rotate and I will still be able to go exactly forward up to where I'm facing, not along these world lines anymore. Okay, so that is basically the starts of creating a very, very simple camera follow and a drive script that allows you to drive an object around. And I'm sure at this point you can now play around with those values. You can create a new scene, you can change this cube into a little car and drive it around, and experiment with the values in the code to see how they're going to affect the outcomes.